Hello, everybody. My name is RODGON. I am an artist. I'm a designer. I'm a cartoonist. I'm an illustrator. And tonight, I am going to teach you guys how to draw some pinup girls. Yeah. Pinup girls are probably one of the most fun things to draw. Mostly because I really enjoy drawing the female figure. So drawing women and drawing characters that have really cool features are one of my favorite things to draw. So, hope you guys are doing good. Ooh, why is this not like going live? So I don't expect many people to log on tonight. But what we're gonna do today is we're going to be doing some pinup poses. We are going to be drawing some pinup girls, and we're gonna be doing some movie posters. So I'm gonna teach you guys how you guys compose your characters so that you guys can draw your pinups, and we're gonna be using a little bit of reference today in order to get the poses exactly how we need them. Because pinup poses are normally quite complicated. And I need to study them. Take care. So today we're going to focus a lot on movie posters. So we're going to be trying to make every single pinup that we do into a movie poster. Jay Disney, hello. Dagling, how's it going? Indrajit, gosh, hello. How you doing? How you guys doing today? You guys having a lovely day? I'm having a lovely day. Let's see, the other arm would be over here. Maybe doing something right here. Some little animal critter or something. So, dry can. So today's theme is brought to you by the awesome Dry Can. Dry Can is not just our moderator over on TikTok, but she doesn't have TikTok anymore. So we need to make sure that she has some streams to look up for over here on YouTube, huh? Hello from France. How you doing, man? So tonight, you guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. I'm just gonna be drawing like things that I see on Pinterest. And if you guys find any questions you guys feel answered, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out with any questions you guys might have. Until then, I'm just gonna be drawing some pinup girls, doing pinup stuff. Having an awesome day. How about you? Having an awesome day too. Doing quite good today. Got to see some friends. I got to spend some time with my puppy. Got some work done. Can't really complain. Then booty. And the legs probably a little longer. My throat hurts today. So if you guys are ever curious as to how to draw the female figure a little bit easier, let me break it down for you guys. So the female figure consists of having a small rib cage and having big hips. So if you draw your rib cage like an egg, and you draw a little stick, and then you draw two big hips, this allows you the ability to draw your characters relatively hippie. When you learn to draw a compass at the top of that egg, you have yourself the spacing that you need for your bodies. So a lot of the times, the stuff that we are learning is a lot easier than we might want to make it. Well, it's honestly, it's always easier than we make it. A lot of the times it's just explained in a weird, super complicated way. So most of us don't get to get that knowledge because most people explain it just in very difficult ways. But at the end of it, it's not really all that complicated. It's just explained wrong, in my opinion. Oh, my throat. Oh, man. It's been a weird couple days. So I went to some national parks over the weekend, and that was really cool. I've never been to national parks before. So we went to Muir, and we went to, what do you call it? Pinnacles? And I really, really, really liked Muir. Muir had the coolest, like trees ever. They were huge, gigantic. So the human structure consists of mostly two elements. It's going to be your rib cage and your hip bones. If you learn how to draw each one individually, the hip bones and the body consist of two different parts. One is going to be a nice little egg, and then the other one's going to be a circle. The circle, if you draw two little angled circles on the bottom of that, that becomes your hip bones. So you can also give it underwear. That's another way of seeing it, any way that you want. So anything, if you give it underwear, it's going to be like giving it tidy whities. Okay, the whole concept is to get that angled circle. That angled circle is going to allow you to draw two more circles and create cylinders. The reason that it looks like a leg is because it's coming out of the body at the right angle. You can draw anything that comes out of here and it's going to look like a leg. Anything. Anything you draw from here is going to look like a leg. So making it look like a pinup just means that you have to balloon it out a little bit so you can give it a little bit of hips and a little bit of calf. So now that we know that we have to make the hip bones a little bigger, we can take our basic structure that we have, an egg, and this, just make the hip bones a little bigger than the rib cage, and it's going to taper out to that curve. From that circle, draw a teardrop that's going to match roughly the top of your rib cage, and draw a circle. That's going to be your thigh. From there, you're going to do a straight line into a triangle. That's going to be your calf into your foot. And then you connect the thigh muscle on the back to the calf muscle in the front. Cool. That is the easiest way to be able to draw legs. And you can do that to be able to pose your characters really easy. Next comes the compass and the egg. The compass and the egg give you the ability to draw your upper body just as easy as we just did the lower body. And in dynamic posing. So how does that work? Well, that works by drawing an egg, drawing a midline by drawing a circle inside. This gives you the front of your rib cage. That gives you your spine. Draw a little circle. This circle is going to be the width of your egg, the width of your head. So that's going to be the head. Oh, there you go. Hey, Elvis C.L. Rivers. Thank you for the $20 donation. You're awesome. Thanks so much for the lessons. I've wanted to draw people for 30 years, and these lessons are helping me finally realize that skill. I got art block. It's rad. No questions today. Oh, you're awesome. Oh man, you're amazing. That's awesome. That's so cool. Thank you so much. But I would love to answer something that you have in mind based on what we're talking about, if you don't mind. I like making sure that the people that contribute to me make sure that they feel heard and, taken care of. Most of the time people take care of me, I take care of them. Yay! $20. I'm gonna get myself a iced coffee tomorrow. I'm gonna get myself like a little croissant or something, and then doodle. It's gonna be cool. So for male characters, small hips. For female characters, big hips. Okay. And everything in between. So it can be anything in between. Okie dokie. So the hip bones in themselves are relatively easy to find. Again, we just have to learn to unlearn a lot of the things that we have been learning. So hip bones, circle, 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 creating this little butterfly thing. From there, make sure that you leave a little space in between because you still have goodies, right? You have your goodies and you have your goodies. So don't make sure that you leave space for your goodies. From there, teardrop, teardrop, straight line, into your foot. It can be flat if you want. From here, the calf muscle connects from the back of the thigh to the bone that we just drew. Let's go a little higher. This is the easiest way to draw legs. You can draw legs in every single position. A lot easier if you just do that. Okay? Don't worry so much about all the details that everyone's always telling you to draw. You don't need to draw so much detail if you know how to position your things. Okay? If you understand how to move a little teardrop in a straight line, you can draw your feet in any direction, facing any way, looking any style that you want, really, later on, because you get to take that later. So yeah, draw a pineapple. I'm gonna draw a hand holding that pineapple. That way you keep it on theme. There you go. Pineapple being held. Tips on shadows. We're not talking about shadows right now. Actually, let me give you a tip on shadows. Actually, let me give you a very, very important tip on shadows. If you don't know how to draw things in without, okay, if you don't know how to give something depth without shadows, don't draw shadows. Okay? So if, for example, with this, I can give this a depth a bunch of different ways. A circle can be given depth by giving it line width. So heavier to one side can create volume. The other way that you can create volume is like we talked about shadows. Okay, that's another way. Another way that we can create volume is by creating divisions, subsections, and the overall best one is to learn to draw through your shape. So learning to draw through your shape is going to be the best way to create depth. These two are the most important. Most people use these two. If you don't learn these two, you're never going to be able to really draw through your object so that things like the jaw and stuff like that become a joke. It really does become a joke. It becomes so incredibly easy to draw something like the jaw or like eyelids or eyes and stuff like that. Because when you learn to draw through your shape, you're essentially giving yourself x-ray vision. So I bought coffee break doodles months ago and it never showed. Oh, what? Oh no, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, it still showed up. Okay. Oh, please, if anybody ever has any issues, I will like deliver one directly to you. like they're most of the time they're fulfilled through Amazon. So I never have any control over the delivery. But if I can make it like right and you guys order from me, I will do whatever I need to. Okay? The human head, if you know how to draw through your objects, it becomes really easy to draw the human head. Being able to draw it in different styles is going to be up to you, but drawing the actual head is no more difficult than drawing a box, splitting it in four, creating an hourglass, filling that in, and creating a teardrop on the bottom. That's all you really need to know to draw a head. The actual structure of the face comes all from this. And you can build the whole human structure from there. So, like I said, if you want to give something volume, you have a couple options. You have the option of giving it shadows, which you don't want to really use early on in your development because you get used to drawing things like this and you don't want that. You have line weight, which again can be very, very helpful. Let's say that you have a face, right? So you have a face, like a normal head. And you want to determine that the light source is up here. But you don't really want to add any detail. You don't want to add shadows. All you have to do is darken all the surface lines that are on the bottom right here. And if you did that alone, that would be enough indication of light source that it would create that depth for you without you having to add any light. Right? A little bit of darker line on the side opposite of the light source can give you a lot of depth. So that's one thing that a lot of comic book artists use. Only they use it at a more extreme situation. You know, they cover entire sections and they end up creating a lot of depth because of it. But the concept itself is the same. Okay? Learn your volumes so that you know your planes, so that you can shade properly later. Okie dokie? All right, let's go back to legs. So leggies, for pinups especially, I'm just looking at some pinups on Pinterest. I love my job. I love my job. I love looking at sexy ladies. Like, it's just so cool to be able to look at them and draw them. It's so lovely. Like, it's an absolute delight. So this is the general shape that you want for your body. And then from there, these guide your legs. So don't be afraid to draw them overlapping. And then you have your bottom of your leg, which can be a straight line, which is your bone. You're drawing your bone onto your foot. Okay? You draw the calf muscle after. This leg would be around here. And then the calf would be right there. Collarbone comes from the circle and the compass. Let's make this go up a little. Outside edge of the arm, inside volume of the arm. Back muscles, front muscles, and any sort of situation like breasts and stuff like that would be coming from the collarbone. From the back, I would always just draw a little egg. No, not an egg, heart. A heart from the back of the collarbone section is going to give you breasts. And then the head comes from the spine. And the spine controls where the head is going to go. If you're wondering the width of your head, it's going to be around roughly the width of this. If you don't believe me, check it out. If you divide this into 3, this becomes the width of your neck. At the edge of your neck, you have your ears, right? That's just logical. It's on the side of your head. And then from there, from your ears, you just connect them in a curvy line, and you have yourself a head. You guys didn't know it was that easy, huh? The anatomy comes later. All the muscles and all the volume and stuff like that, that comes later. Worry about that once you figure out exactly how to position the very basics of your design, okay? Once you learn how to position the basics like your collarbone and your rib cage, and you learn how to move those in space, everything else just comes really easy. So what makes your women face drawing so pretty? Mine ends up looking not so pretty. Well, when I draw my female characters, essentially I keep them into a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? So one big forehead into the nose, and a little tiny section like that, a little sliver. Then comes the anatomy. From here, I'm going to divide this into 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. This front part is going to be where my eye socket goes. That's not my eye, that's my eye socket. This is giving me my cheekbone, my eyebrow line, and it's going to give me the muscles in the front. Inside of here, I have my eye, which I get to decide what type of eyelids I did to draw. From there, I have 1, 2, 3. The block 2 get a big circle. And that circle is going to match the bottom of my eye. I'm going to curve this. And now I have the basic structure of my nose, my eyes, my cheekbones, my chin, and I can start connecting things. My ear is going to come from that bottom of that circle up. And if it has a lobe, like if you have the little lobey part, that's below that. Okay? The lobe is extra. Imagine that lobe, if you have one, this is like an earring. That's how you should think about it. That's below. This is live. This is completely live. Live from Tijuana, California, Mexico. RODGON the artist, live, drawing pinups in front of you, teaching you how to do everything cool. I'm a digital art school, and I never learned like that. You explain better than all my teachers combined. Woohoo! Well, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I'm a darn good teacher. You know, and I'm actually surprised that no schools have ever asked me to be a teacher for them. I've been putting it out there. Like I will relocate. I will relocate for for a school, like for an opportunity to teach at a college. So if you guys have like a school that you guys want me to teach in, you guys should let your instructors know. I'll take 90,000 plus benefits. I'll be okay with it. Let your teachers know. Let your schools know. All right, so let's go on to the next part. So now that we know how to draw the face for the characters, we draw a box, we divide that into 3. We choose the front. If I'm going to, 1, 2, 3. If I'm going to choose this as the front of my face, I can divide this in half, and then I can do it as the 1, 2, 3, 4. Divide that in half, hourglass, circle. Now I have a skull from the side. That's kind of cool, huh? Kind of cool. And by doing that really quickly, you give yourself access to being able to be a little bit more creative. You know, when you don't have to guess so much where things are supposed to end, you have the ability to be a little bit more creative with your stuff. Now, anyways, this head is way too tall. It would be wrong right here. New 21 draw course. Well, that's going to be depending on them. That's going to depend on when they want to release it. Once I deliver it, and I already got paid, so I get paid, I send it in. It's up to them to create it from that point on. From that point on, it's just on them. So hopefully they do it soon because I really want to see it come out. It's one of those times that you're like super proud of the things you do, and then you're just like waiting and waiting. But when you guys see that, when you guys get that anatomy course, make sure to get it through my link and in mine. Otherwise, I don't get any money from it. So if you guys just purchase it without doing it through my links, I don't get any money. So make sure to like do it through my links, and to make sure to like repeat that over the streams too. Plus, you guys get a discount if you guys do it through mine. All right. Let's see. Any other questions about pinups or posing? Do you guys have any other questions? Please speak up now or forever hold your peace. How do you draw from an extreme angle? Well, if you want to learn to draw from an extreme angle, you have to learn these basic shapes that I'm teaching you, right? They're not very hard shapes. They're very circular in nature. So if you learn how to draw these two in space, right? At first, you're going to be able to draw things like this. And that's going to be a little stiff and everything. But then you're going to learn to overlap these. And when you learn to overlap your lines, you start getting slightly more extreme angles. Okay, you're gonna start getting a little bit more perspective. And then the more you overlap them, the more extreme those positions get. So as you overlap your lines, you end up getting more. But if you meant more like action-based poses, it's gonna be more about overlapping those lines and then overlapping a ton of other lines in between. So you're gonna have to learn a lot about how to overlap and crisscross your body parts, because you're gonna end up in a situation where you're going to want to do a bunch of really cool stuff, and it's gonna be complicated poses. So you're gonna have to just reference the living hell out of things until it comes naturally. Okay? But you're gonna have the initial system to be able to do that. Hands, main structure, and arm. Hands, main structure, and arm. Okay, so hands. Your hand and your wrist is the same width. Your finger, your thumb comes from here. So your thumb initiates right there. One side of your hand has your pinky or your index. The other side of your hand has your pinky. In between, there's two more. So in general sense, this is the very general conceptualization of your hand. So if we take about this, but we start bending it in space, right? The same width and everything, from that circle, that connecting point, that's where our thumb is gonna come out from. This side of our hand is gonna have one finger, which is our index. And then the other side is gonna have my pinky. So I'm just gonna draw my pinky floating in the space, using these circles as mapping points. Those are your knuckles. Now you have two more. I'm gonna overlap them. Okay, and then I'm gonna fill in the space necessary. From the edge of the last knuckle to back to my wrist, you fill it. Cool. Oh, you wanna look at a person looking up in the sky? Oh, that's easy. Oh, dude, let me show you something. Let me give you some knowledge. You're gonna love me after this. Most people do. So, compass. We're gonna draw a basic head by drawing our chin, our ears, and we're gonna connect the bottom of the ear to the bottom of the chin. Okay? So this is how you draw a normal face. You're gonna draw a little triangle and you're gonna do teardrop, circle, 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 circle. Cool. Now, if you wanted to move that up, this happens to just move up. It's actually not that complicated. Check it out. So we're gonna keep the ears in the same place, okay? But instead of having the chin here and connecting the bottom line there, we're gonna move that up and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna connect the bottom of the ear to the bottom of the chin. By just moving it a little bit, everything else moves a little bit up. So now you have a little bit of space right here. What, you wanna make it even higher? Cool. Same concept. Let's draw our basic chin so that it's easy. Our ears are gonna be our pivot. So instead of having it here, I want it all the way up here. Bottom of the ear, which would rotate a little bit. Bottom of the ear, bottom of the chin. And now you have all this space for your neck space. This little triangle ends up almost perpendicular there, and then your nose sticks up. That teardrop connects back to that circle, and then you have the two eye canals for your eye sockets. So when you're looking up, all you have to do is find your ears, find your original pose, and then move it up depending on how high up you need it. Connect the same points, bottom of the ear, bottom of the chin, bottom of the ear. And then you can progress and start learning your things like that. Okay? It doesn't have to be so hard. When will you release? I need to have time to build it, man. Like I live day to day, you know, like I live paycheck to paycheck, and I'm like eating into my savings a little bit. So I'm you know, I need time to be able to put it together. And that's essentially it. I have to do it while being on, you know, on survival mode and stuff like that too. So it's just a matter of like finding the time to do it. Like I have the knowledge and I have the willing to do it. I just don't have the time while I do everything else. Why's my nose all wheezy? So yeah, that's the status on the book. Unfortunately, I wish I could say that it's been like worked on a little bit more, but it just hasn't. I just haven't had the time to concentrate and sit down and think about like life changing positions of my life. But one day I will. One day I'll sit down and actually finalize that. I have been looking for an assistant though. That is a new update. I have been looking for an assistant to essentially help me with day-to-day routine stuff, like scanning things and like selecting the best sketches for the books and stuff like that. Anything that happens after the stream, I just don't have time to do that. So I think it's gonna be well worth it to have somebody on the team do it. But again, I don't have money to pay people very much. So it comes down to that, right? It's like, it's always something. Thank you so much for these videos. You are hands down the best teacher I've found. I've looked through hundreds of drawing tip videos and yours are the best. Thank you guys. I mean, one way that you guys can help me out is by like mentioning me to other creators that like have a bigger following. So if you guys like mention me to Jaza or mention me to other people like that, like I might get a slight possibility of them actually like wanting to show me some recognition. You never know. So that's the one way that you guys could help me. But again, it's not something I would want to ask ever. Because I just don't like doing that. But it'd be nice. It'd be kind of cool to be interviewed or something. Seeing as I reached like almost 2 million people last month alone, that'd be kind of cool to have a news like stations like make something about me. Maybe that would like be the kickstarting situation. Ah, man. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna let you guys be because I'm gonna go play some music and I'm gonna go draw a little bit on the other platform that allows me to play music, mostly because that's the way I decompress at night. So if you guys want to join me on TikTok, that's fine. Dry can. I hope that I helped you a little bit with your posing. I know that was streamed for you. So I hope that it helps. I hope that you learn something, and I hope that we get to hang out again and watch Fallout more. So see you guys soon. You guys are awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another lesson. And yeah, with that, later, gators.